What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. Now in this video, we're going to be covering two different comics. To get us caught up on everything that is going on with the Gotham War, we are going to be covering Catwoman issue number 58 and the Gotham War Red Hood issue number 2. As we get into these two issues, what we had seen previously is Batman really at his worst. The Batman of Zur-En-Arrh has been talking in his head. It has been affecting everything and anything that he does. This includes essentially brainwashing Jason Todd. Batman has made Red Hood completely harmless. Anytime his adrenaline spikes, he can do nothing. The fear takes over. And so with Red Hood in such a vulnerable state, this is not stopping his enemies from trying to come for him. And so while Jason goes through these struggles, Catwoman makes one last attempt to try and reach Bruce, to try and stop all of this before this war boils over into something none of them can come back from. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel, make sure that you like this video, and with that being said, let's dive into this breakdown. Alright gang, so as we jump into Catwoman issue number 58, we are picking up with Bruce and Selina. And right now, Bruce is in such a horrible state. When Catwoman approaches him, she says that they need to talk, but she didn't realize how broken Bruce has become, collapsing into her arms. This moment of weakness, this moment of absolute emotion, it is quickly broken up. Batman putting his cowl back onto his head, going on to ask, what is it you wanted to speak about? And Selina is worried. She is worried about Bruce. She's worried about Jason. Right now, she has no idea where Jason is. She is worried that she might have to protect Jason from Bruce. So worried that she was willing to come and confront Bruce right here on this rooftop. As the two sit on the rooftop, this is where we see the explosions in the background. And after this conversation, we see that both of them, neither of them, want to be enemies. In fact, Bruce even goes on to say that this is something he couldn't handle. They may have opposing views. They may not be on the same page. But with everything going on in his life, having Selina as an enemy is something that he just can't handle right now. With an explosion on the rooftop that they are on, we see the two of them go falling from the sky. And even though they should be at war with one another, when the world blows up around them, they reach out for one another. Neither of them can deny their feelings for one another. The love of Bruce is Selina's great escape. But more than that, the city, it is on fire. They know that they need to get up and get moving. But Bruce never answered on what happened to Jason. And so with Selina asking the question again, Bruce says that he gave Jason his life back, with Batman being very vague, not giving a complete answer. This is when they get the call and they have to get moving. Selina is getting a call from Scandal. She says that Jason is accounted for and she needs to get back immediately. And as we have Catwoman returning, we pick up with Vandal Savage and his daughter Scandal. And obviously, there is a lot to discuss here. Savage stepping in and saying that he plans to give immortality to everybody in Gotham, Catwoman included. The terms of this is to have certain objects stolen. These objects that need to be stolen, they are fragments of a meteor that fell to Earth eons ago. And once all of them are together, then they can get a taste of immortality. But Catwoman is letting it be known that her people, everybody that she has trained, they are not for sale. She wants these people to be able to get by. She doesn't want them being sold out or sold to the highest bidder, that they work independently. And Savage, hearing this, knowing that Catwoman is not going to side with him, he draws out his sword. In the blink of an eye, we see him slice down Catwoman. He cuts her head clean off, with Scandal going on to say that you are an absolute idiot, because now Batman is going to come down on us. But when they turn around, they see that she is still very much alive. This is not Catwoman. This is Lady Clayface. And after hearing all of this information, she is headed directly for Catwoman, gonna let Selina in on everything that is ongoing, as Savage takes off to go to his meeting. This is what picks us up with a meeting with all the top guys in Gotham. Firefly, Black Mask, Professor Pig, the whole 9 yards. And all those explosions that we had just seen recently. The explosion that had knocked Batman and Catwoman off of that building. This is all because of Firefly. Firefly says that he did this because some of his people, some of his goons, they were operating out of those buildings. He says that this was a show of force. This is where Savage lets it be known that you guys gotta stop making trouble for yourselves. Stop focusing on the goons, on the henchmen, that these guys are unimportant to the big scheme, to the overall plan, that they need to be focusing 100% on taking down the Bat and Catwoman, that once they are dead, true chaos can reign. And then all of the henchmen will come crawling back to you. And this is what picks us up with Jason Todd, terrified, petrified of his own shadow, unable to do anything or go anywhere. Every step that he takes, all he feels is fear. And as he walks by a building that is on fire, he tries getting back to the brownstone, but he hears the screaming and the crying of a child. But even with all of this fear taking him over, he cannot help but go save this little girl, letting her know that it is okay to be scared, because he is terrified as well. And so while Jason goes to save this little girl and get her out of the fire, we pick up at Gotham Museum of Natural Science. Savage may have a whole army of thieves at his disposal now, but the best thief in the whole city, it is still Catwoman. And so she makes moves to steal all of these objects before Savage can get hold of them. While making her way on the rooftops, this is where she runs into Scandal. And at first, Scandal says that she wants to have a conversation, but she is also fully armed up. This makes Catwoman believe that this is not a conversation, and after hearing everything from Lady Clayface, Catwoman has no intention of hearing her out. The way that she sees it, immortality is on the table, but she also wants Catwoman to take the deal. The two of them having their little scuffle, but they go their separate ways. We see that this relationship, whatever it was, it is now broken, thinking to herself that she has had way too many friends lately. One of them was going to end up being a liar, but thinking of who her real friends are, Selina shows up at the brownstone, saying that they need to set their things aside, at least for now, for the sake of the city. But she also wants to see Jason. Bruce is letting her know that Jason is not here, tracking him a few hours ago. He has somehow evaded Bruce. Both of them now worried on where Jason might be, they suit up and they go looking for him, making their way to the building that is on fire. They make their way inside and they find Jason and this little girl. Jason's still very much alive, but absolutely terrified. But they're able to get both of them to safety. Catwoman letting it be known that Vandal has his own plans. The only way that they're able to win this new war is if all three of them work together. They share everything that they know, but the streets of Gotham are about to get so much worse because all of the big bads, they are now making a statement. And that is what will take us into the Gotham War of Red Hood, issue number 2. This story starts us off 1 week ago. We're picking up in a bar. Red Hood trying to get information, trying to figure out where is the Joker? Where is Scarecrow? He is looking for the big bads. He may have agreed to join up with Selina, but he has his own plans. This is where Selina steps in, letting Red Hood know that he needs to calm down. He needs to take a breath. They go outside, they have a conversation. Selina is letting him know that I wanted to work with you not only because it would make Batman mad, that you have a passion, you have a drive, that all of that just needs to be pointed in the right direction. But another reason she has come is because one of her people wants to have a conversation with Red Hood, one of the guys that he had trained. She's not really sure what he needs, but she says, why don't you go ask him yourself? This is where we pick up with Red Hood and Ravager, with Red Hood calling in a little bit of backup just in case. As they sit here and wait, they go over to the bushes, and that is where they see the man they are meant to meet. This is Brinks, and his eyes have been clawed out of his head. But this was self-inflicted. This is something that is seen sometimes with Scarecrow victims. But there's a message that was left on him, a clue to lead him exactly where he needs to go, a list of locations that the Joker wanted him to have. And Red Hood is deducing that Joker is using this guy to get to him. Scarecrow probably simply got in the way. And while Jason would love to focus on the Joker, right now he's going after Scarecrow. Scarecrow killed these men to send a message. This demands a response. telling Ravager to give this to Manhunter, that she is good, she'll figure out what's going on with the Joker while Jason handles the Scarecrow situation, with Red Hood telling Ravager that they will meet up in 48 hours. But after 50 hours, Jason never shows up, and now Ravager, she is very much concerned. Now we know what happens to Jason. Batman gets his hands on him, brainwashes him, makes it to where anytime Jason has adrenaline go up, his fear also rises. Ravager having nobody else to call, she calls Scandal. Scandal not even knowing how she got this number. Ravager is simply calling to make sure that Red Hood is okay. They were supposed to meet up and he never came. And Ravager is unable to reach Catwoman, with Savage telling Scandal that you're gonna go rescue Red Hood, that the boy can be very useful to them still. And so while Scandal goes to break out Red Hood, we pick up with the Joker, and he is wondering where the heck is Red Hood. He set this up perfectly, a perfect trap to bring in Red Hood, thinking to himself that maybe he should have just drawn him a map. And after hearing that Batman had captured Red Hood, this is something that the Joker cannot tolerate. The Joker had plans for Red Hood, and so what he's gonna do is go save Red Hood so that he can take care of him himself. The only problem, nobody knows where Red Hood is. This is what takes us to days later. We pick up with the big bads of Gotham. The word is that Red Hood is no longer in the captivity of Batman, that Scandal had broke him out, and that the last they had seen of him, he was barely able to form a sentence. Whatever Batman did, he broke him, with Scarecrow listening to the entirety of this conversation. We pick up with Jason Todd outside of that building where he hears a little girl screaming for help, with the building on fire. Jason runs in, absolutely terrified, but being able to overcome his fear long enough to get to this little girl. But when he gets there, that is where he starts to freeze up, doing everything he can to get her out of here. This is where we have the arrival of Scarecrow. He lets Jason know that he is going to die tonight. As he looks into the eyes of Jason, he can tell what they were saying was true. His terror is very real, but this is not the Scarecrow's making. Scarecrow's moment of triumph, and it is snatched away because of Batman, letting Jason know that he will finish this very quickly. But this is when we have the arrival of the Joker. The Joker telling him to step away. And the Scarecrow, he goes on to say that you're not even really him, are you? Speaking to the Joker, saying that he knows all about his little delusions, his megalomania. This is seen in the Joker, the man who stopped laughing, as the two of them begin to scuffle. Scarecrow telling him to shut his mouth, because Joker calling him a C-list villain. Scarecrow has gathered that making an enemy of the real Joker didn't scare him, but now he is about to face real terror. This is when the Joker pulls out a squirt gun and he sprays him right in the face. After pulling off the mask of Scarecrow, this green goo, it gets in his face and it causes Scarecrow to run. But this wasn't Joker gas that was sprayed in Scarecrow's face. In fact, it was Grundy's pee. Joker was just doing it to get Scarecrow out of here. But now it is just the two of them. And as the building begins to fall down, Joker can hear the voices of Batman and Catwoman, with a beam falling onto Jason Todd. Joker knows that this is his cue. Jason's still alive underneath there, and the Joker telling him that this is not the last time they will see one another. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Alright, so another couple great issues coming out of the Gotham War. It is a little bit inconsistent because we have been focused on the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. That seems to be the whole reason that Bruce is acting the way he is. Except inside of the Catwoman comic, that appears to not be the case. It is rather inconsistent. Now, if you're reading Batman the main title, it is definitely going to continue on with the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. Unfortunately, obviously the other writers didn't get the memo. So in Catwoman, in the Gotham War Red Hood, what we are seeing is not that persona of Batman, but a Batman that is almost sorry for the things that he has done, that he is willing to work with his family, with Catwoman, with Jason Todd, and there is absolutely no sign of the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh. Maybe they're saving this for something later on down the line, showing that the Batman of Zur-En-Arrh, he has not necessarily complete control, but he can push and nudge at Batman's psyche, that eventually Batman of Zur-En-Arrh will take over, but it's gonna be a slow burn. We only have one more issue of the Gotham War left. That will be the Gotham War Scorched Earth. And it appears that everything going on with the Joker will conclude in the Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing, issue number 12. You know, I really did expect more from this Gotham War. And I don't mind the conversations that are ongoing, everyone trying to work things out for the most part. We've seen them fight just a little bit, but honestly, it hasn't really been a war. I would consider this more of a conflict of interests. And there was always the possibility that this could have gone into a full-blown war that could have gotten really ugly, really bad, very quickly, had it not been for Vandal Savage. His arrival has changed the entire course of this whole little story, this whole little event, because with him now planning on giving immortality to everybody in Gotham, not really knowing what the cost of this will be, this has caused Batman and everybody else to set aside their differences, to now work together to try and take down Savage. What the ultimate fate of Red Hood will be, we still do not know, but obviously Red Hood has enemies out there, ones that are gunning for him. If this fear continues to take him over in such a manner, it will only be so long before Jason dies. Batman must give him the ability to fight back again. He must reverse whatever it is he did to Jason, cause no matter how much he wants to give Jason a normal life, to take him off the board and not make him an enemy combatant, the truth is, he will forever and always be Red Hood. And Red Hood has a lot of enemies. A lot of people that would love to watch him be skinned alive. Taking away his ability to fight back, that's a death sentence all in its own. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your theories. If you would like to get completely caught up on everything that is going on with the Gotham War, go ahead, check out the link in my description as well as the top of this video. It is going to get you completely caught up on everything going on with this series. If you would like to support the channel, you can always do so by joining the channel membership. Much like Patreon, having multiple different tiers, from $1 to $50, from loyalty badges to comics every single month. Not only are you helping out the channel tremendously, but you are getting tons of perks in the process. Now, if you're unable to do this, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, hit that notification bell, and with that being said, until the next breakdown.